You got challenges that you're going to run across.
Because I mean, everybody gonna be able to Google or use AI, but everybody ain't gonna be able to break that thing down and put it back together. What you say about that, Doc?
I agree with him that we're right now, our generation that's coming up is they're not learning problem solving, even though the schools are saying that that's what their focus tends to be. And so, yeah, there's a gap. But instead of complaining about our generation, which I think a lot of people do, they don't know how to do X, Y, and Z. I think that this is a way for the generations to actually come to the middle and be able to, we can actually help the younger generation and mentor them, as this gentleman talked about in the video. That was what his mentor challenged him, and he took him up on the challenge. And I think that we have to be actively doing that with the younger generation, because I agree that this is going to become where people are specialized. They're going to know something backward and forward because they're the problem solver. They're the ones going to do the research. They're going to dig further than what they found just on that quick Google one page, because most people actually don't go past the first page on Google. So even if you're a Google master, if you don't go past the first page, you may not pick up everything that's there. So I think that this is an opportunity where we can come together in generation, and especially in our community, if we can teach the younger generation to do this. Like, this is a way to separate yourself, to be able to elevate yourself, to be valuable, to create that value. That's what that's the buzzword everywhere, is value. And if you can do something that most others can't, then definitely you're going to carry more value. But it's very, very tricky, because still the school system does what it does, right? What it was meant to do, which was just create workers and people punching a clock and what have you. And if we don't somehow instill more in younger people, I think that, we're going to create another separation where you'll just have the experts and then you'll have everybody else. And although that may continue forever, but I don't think that the gap has to be as wide as it appears to be right now. And so the way that companies are devaluing older workers that know how to problem solve, I think they're going to have to change the way that they're looking at that. And you're going to have to start retaining those older folks that you were trying to get rid of for monetary reasons or whatever reason you thought that they were too old, because they're going to have that skill set.
Well, somebody agree with you on that.
I'm glad somebody does.
Well, I see most people are so lazy out here that we don't want to study anything anymore. We don't want to do any of that stuff. And again, those people who do that will be that expert, and that they will be the ones that people will call on. Even though we feel like AI is going to give us everything, we feel like AI is just going to, throw everything off, throw all the books away off the bookshelf, throw everything away, and then just talk to AI every day. And I just got a feeling it's going to let us down in some parts. I mean, some parts of that AI system is going to let us down.
Absolutely, because you need a human factor. You
Right.
still need a human factor. I know that people that are watching their money and figuring out the cheapest way to get stuff done and think that technology is just going to replace everything, you still need a human factor. That level of customer service that Lou was talking about, you need the human factor for that to occur. You can't send a robot to that person to give them the level of customer service that they're looking for. And they're looking for that emotion. People buy and spend their money based on emotion. And so if you remove the human factor, guess what? Your money is actually going to go away. It's going to decrease because you're taking that out. So I think that, yeah, it is going to come back around to the old way of doing things is going to be, the thing to do. Just the same way as people have gone back to eating naturally and, organic,
Farming, yeah.
growing their own food and what have you. We just circle right back to where we were.
That's that's what's happening.
And the beauty in this is this: because we're moving so much faster than any generation in the history of the world, because technology is so fast, it's not going to take as long to come back around. Like, remember when flat screens was first introduced? And it was like space age, like, oh man, my uncle got a flat screen. It was something weird. Now it's a commodity. You're a fast man. I got these two. Please take them from me. Just take them. I don't even want them no more. I get it. Just get them. Get
them out of here. Yeah.
So AI is going to so fast, so quick become a commodity. It's going to become so basic. So just everybody got it. So what's going to happen? You going to flip faster. It ain't going to take 20 years. Like you talk about farming. It's not going to take 80 years for people to come back and say, oh, we need to start growing our own stuff. I'm saying 5 years. I think in 5 years, you're going to be back and people are going to be looking for people who can think. Who can think, like the brother said, who love to figure things out. Mm-hmm. And that's going to be exponential. I'm talking about it's going to be rare because everybody's, like you said, going to fall into the trap of depend upon AI. Like, brother, AI can write you a whole grant and get you funded. So you ain't going to need grant writers. You're going to need none of these people that's doing this stuff. All this disruption going to happen. The only people going to be left is the people still reading paper books, still figuring stuff out, still critically thinking, logically working on their mind, and that's going to be like, oh my God, you can think? Like, what do you want? Like, what do you want? You can think?
Yeah.
Like, you got these. You look at college. College is being devalued, so it don't ever really matter. College more so now. You go into a college to get the network. It ain't even about the degree.
Mm-hmm.
I know people got master's degrees. They talking about starting you at $18 an hour. You got a master's degree. What's $18 an hour worth? Like,
yeah.
You got $60,000, $30,000 in debt. You know, and you're like, I went to Ohio State though. Like, oh.
Okay.
You know, it's a networking thing. So if you ever go into the college, understanding that, like, you need that network. I want to go to Yale so I can be around dudes that's, you know.
All right.
We in a period of disruption, and it's gonna go quick though. So they're gonna take 15, 20. This is what I'm learning. I had to learn business. I didn't know anything about business. When I told you I took that challenge and do the whole book list, I didn't have none of them. I'm like, how I don't know none of these people he talking about? Because he talking about some money. I know about psychology. I know how building yourself up, all that. I ain't know nothing about business. So I'm learning business cycles. These things go in cycles. Learning about demographic. Listen, in 5 years, people that can think are going to be like, man, it's gonna be crazy.
Listening to you talk on another subject, when you're talking about how things are speeding up, it seems to me, I could be wrong, that they're slowly trying to roll out or push back this rap industry, and they're trying to go to Latin and kind of not house music, but that Latin beat, like, because they're not even signing these rappers or hip hop guys like before. And do you notice that those songs go so quickly? You hear a new song come out, and within 2 weeks, people are tired of it. They moved on to something else. You know what I'm saying? Right. And they tired of it. It's it's not like, it's just everything is moving so quickly now that to a point where I think that industry is looking at them saying, okay, we might have to slowly move, or not even slowly, just move on to something else now, because the attention span and the frame of time that people give this music anymore, it's like it's just it's almost, it's like if you listening to it on a some kind of like a YouTube or something, if that thing ain't hitting right quick, you got
it. It's gone.
It's like a commodity. Anytime you turn something into a commodity. So because the world is so small now, so you think 30 years ago, you only had the US. Like, if you couldn't make it in the US, you were done. You could now start a product, start a service. You don't have to sell nothing in the US. And you could be a billionaire.
Right.
Because the other countries are developing. So once you remove the gatekeepers, like the airline industry, one of the most regulated, bigoted industries ever. It's hard to get into. You can just start no airline business. That ain't gonna happen.
Right.
So they can charge what they want. They can do whatever they want to do.
Right.
But once you break them gatekeepers, like on the music industry, remember before, like, a guy come out with a CD this year, tape or whatever this year, he might have you waiting 4 years. Like, oh man, you're the new Luther coming out. You waiting 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah.
For the new Michael Jackson come out. Now, these, because the commodity, it's a volume biz like Walmart. They didn't turn the music industry into Walmart. Lil Baby got to come out with a song every day.
Yep.
Every day he got to come out with a song with 6 other dudes on it. Every day he got to come out to stay on top. Because the first week he don't make a new song, it's gonna be another new Lil Baby.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that back in the day. You know, you wait 4 years, Jay-Z you're like, oh man, the new Nas out. He ain't came out with an album in 3 years. So that's what's gonna happen with research. Because everybody collecting data, putting in these algorithms, using these bots, they lazy. And what they don't realize is, so you're gonna have one dude that's gonna have all this information. Everybody collecting information, big data, big info. We're gonna come to a time it's gonna be saturated. The information is gonna be everywhere, like it is now. YouTube. You can learn anything. Anytime I need to know something, just go to YouTube. It's free.
You're right.
And you're gonna get 5 different perspectives from people that's really doing it, a better idea, better understanding than going to a school, asking anybody and paying them for it. So a certain stuff is not worth nothing because it's a commodity. But the ability to think, the ability to take your mind, develop your mind, learn to figure something out. The hard things, that's gonna be a dearth. We about to see a dearth in the earth. That's gonna be the separation that has and has not. Because this is the kick. All the people that had the people in power, whatever you want to call it, Illuminati, the 1%. This is what I guarantee you. While they're pushing all this AI stuff, this technology stuff, this easy thinking stuff, I guarantee you, they got a whole house that look like this with books.
Yeah.
Right.
They still read. That's what I guarantee you. I bet they still read. Their kids still read.
Yeah.
Their 8-year-old grandson is reading the Iliad. They still read. They got Shakespeare. Like they still read. I guarantee you. See, if it's gonna go so quick, it's gonna be like, can't nobody think. We just out here.
Right.
Who can think? Who can lead us? Who can put something together? Who can put a concept together?
Right.
Who go organizational skills, managerial skills? They can go out. The new Giant Eagle. I don't know if y'all got Giant Eagle down there where y'all at. The Giant Eagle store? Now.
It's a grocery store.
Grocery store.
Yeah.
So
we don't have one, but I know what it is.
But y'all might be ahead of us. We might be slow. So what they're doing, they don't even handle cash anymore. Everything is self-checkout for real. Now, they still got a couple tellers in there, but you literally just going through and you just feed the cash in or you use your card. So the tellers don't even handle cash no more. They ain't got a drawer. So it's like you're going to be able to run a whole Giant Eagle with like 8 people working a 12-hour shift, pay them $60,000 a year. Where are these people going to work at? What are they going to do? They're going to need a leader. They're going to need somebody to think, to create something.
Man, speaking of that,
right.
Speaking of that, I had somebody ask me to pick up some breakfast at McDonald's for them. And, bro, Doc, I ain't been to McDonald's in 4 or 5 years.
How long you staying in the line?
It was a shock when I walked in. I actually parked. I didn't, because the line was so long. And I walked in.
Yeah.
It was a shock. It was 3 computers there.
Which is the kiosk.
One person at the counter way over in the corner there. And the place looked spooky. Like it was just a couple of benches in there. It was like, I'm like, what happened to, hey, welcome to McDonald's? All that is gone. And then when I got on there trying to, luckily it was a lady, and I was like, lady, you got to help me here. Because I'm on here like, this is crazy. It's one person in the whole this McDonald's, look, I've been living in that area, somewhere in that area for 20-something years. And that McDonald's has been on that corner so I've been in and out, but in the last 3 or 4 years, I haven't. And it's totally, but y'all probably seen it. I'm like, this is.
Yeah. The problem there is that they're relying on the technology. So guess what? If the power goes out, or the card machine goes out and they can't take any credit cards and what have you, they're not probably even going to take cash because a person behind there didn't have the button to push to tell them how much change to get back and how much to charge. And nobody pulls out a pen or a piece of
cash register
and able to do that. Like they don't even think about that. They just say that the machine's down. So you could, even McDonald's, it could affect them if that's all that they rely on.
Right.
They've been good at changing with the times, like whatever's going on, McDonald's picks up on it and they change. But for other businesses that are doing that and are slower to change, like that, to still have the human factor, you're gonna. And fast food restaurants like that are not even fast anymore. So the technology's not helping them.
Wow.
Because they don't move faster. They actually move slower.
It didn't seem like that.
Line, that shouldn't even be there. I worked at McDonald's my first summer home from college. And let me tell you, you don't get to be in the drive-through unless you can get them through there in less than 30 seconds. You better have that order. They better be at your window. You better have that money and exchange it. And then they better be going on their way in like 1 minute. Now you can sit there for 20 minutes before somebody even takes your order.
Yep. And they don't even care. Like Lou said, real customer service now is when you go to a hotel and spend $500, $600, $700 a night, then you can get it. But besides that, and they don't care. You know, I can go on and on about that. I got my internet service with Xfinity, right? And so I turned off my cable, so I don't have cable. But they gave me this Xbox that gives you the apps, like you get Netflix or you get Hulu, something like that. And I'm only paying for the internet. You know, my phone pretty much is almost free through them. So I'm not really hardly paying anything. But they give me that free Xbox service. I mean, I call it Xbox. It's it has an X on the little box.
It probably is Xbox.
Okay. Yeah. Do you know that thing has been down for 35 days? I have been in the Xfinity store 6 times. I have been on the line with them 25 times. I held on for 2-3 hours trying to get, they supposed to be walking through it, sitting in a hit. And I told them the other day, I said, does anybody even care that I hadn't had the service in 35 days? No. It was funny. The technician, they had a technician come over. They had 3 technicians come over, and this is literally the truth. Every one of them looked at that box like it was a caveman seeing fire. They were like, I ain't never seen this before. I ain't never seen this before. Hey, Fred, have you seen this Xbox thing? I said, well, why they send you over here?
If you don't know.
You don't even know what this thing is. So, but nobody cares. It's not like it's a sense of urgency. We got a customer that's been down for 35 days without his Xbox. They don't care.
But now check this out. What if that was tied to how you made your living? If the value of that was the difference between you eating, and a company came and said, sir, we can guarantee you it will work every day, all day, 24-hour troubleshooting. We coming out as soon as the storm over, whatever happened, it's going to work. Great customer service, make you feel right. You'll pay 5 times, 8 times as much.
Yeah.
See,
but
the topic, everything is going to be topic because everything's going to become a commodity because everything's going to be so cheap. And cheap stuff, people stand in line for a long time. It's like welfare. Everything's going to be like welfare almost. But I mean, it's going to be like Walmart. Everything going to be shopping at Walmart because technology moving so fast, it's going to be so cheap and so available. So the thing that's going to be valuable is creativity, imagination, and people who can actually relate to people at a high level. And only people with money going to pay for that because they're going to value that. The poor people going to want it, but they ain't going to be able to pay for it. So it's going to be and it's going to be high-end service, creativity, imagination is going to be the overwhelming market. That's going to be the lead thing. You talking about a resume, a job, or even, just trying to get a contract. They're going to want to know, are you creative? Can you imagine stuff? What have you ever developed?
Man, look.
Have you developed anything? Hi. Right. Have you ever thought something outside of the box? Have you ever thought that you could hire? What you want? $100,000 an hour paid. What do you want?
It was crazy, Lou. I think, Doc, this is what I think in my heart too. Even if I was to switch companies, they wouldn't care. It's like nobody even cares. Like it's not like they wouldn't.
Yeah.
Well, the way those industries are connected now is that all the giants have all these small companies. So that's why they don't care, is because whoever you're gonna go to, they probably own them too.
Yeah, they own
right.
See, everything's so saturated. That's what happens when you get commodities. There's nothing special except it's gonna be a small segment, a special people need special people to be able to think. Right. They own them. They don't care if you leave.
I remember this is probably 15 years ago, this cleaners that I go to. And it was a guy in there, man, he was spazzing out. I mean, he was going off about some on his shirt that you know, and I've been going to cleaners for years. And I was standing in the corner watching him just spaz out. He went off and I ain't giving you another red cent. I ain't gonna dime down here. It's enough cleaners around here. Matter of fact, that 3 blocks down the corner, I'm going in there. And I'm sitting in the corner thinking, and the guy behind the counter looking at me like, I'm thinking, he owned that one too. So
Yeah.
he knows I know he owns it.
Uh-huh.
So he's
Wow.
I'm like, he going down there, he's still gonna give him the money.
Yeah.
That's correct. That's crazy, man. So yeah. Make sure that you like and subscribe and hit the all button and all that kind of stuff, because we're gonna have a lot of good interviews on this podcast.
Let me keep it real. You know it's the truth. Your mind is rambling, you hurt inside, you're tired.